Om Shanti, good morning.
One
Welcome.
only Sister Devki,
Yeah.
sir.
Om Shanti,
This
good
one?
morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
This
Shanti,
all?
good morning.
It's over.
Om Shanti, good morning.
We are
Om Shanti, good morning.
good morning. We're extremely fortunate to have our dear Sister Devki with us all the way from St Maarten. It's a beautiful Caribbean island, St Maarten. I don't know how many of us have been there. Has anyone of you been there to St Maarten? It's a beautiful, beautiful place. I haven't been there physically as well, but I have seen the images on the internet and they're so beautiful. Sister Devki has joined specially from St. Maarten. So before we begin, we will all welcome her together. So if possible, please turn your cameras on and we can all wave to Sister Devki together. And let us all Sister Devki together with a flower. Welcome to the family. We're glad that you have come to share your life with us as we grow in love, and may we always be true what God would have us be, a family always there, to be strong and to lean on. May we learn to love each other more with each new day. May words of love be on our lips in everything we say.
May the Spirit melt our hearts and teach us how to pray, that we might be a true family. Welcome to the family. We're glad that you have come to share your life with us as we grow.
We all welcome our dear angel, Sister Devki. Thank you for joining, Sister Devki. Sister Devki has been a Raja Yogi for around 37 years. And she was one of the very first instruments to start the service of Brahma Kumaris in Guyana. And Guyana is a place where a lot of early services in the Americas began. And so she was one of the main instruments there. She was there in Guyana for around 12 years, managing Baba's centers, activities there. And then later on, she was instrumental in opening up many meditation centers in different Caribbean islands. And since the last 14 years, she's been in St. Maarten and managing all the activities there. And Sister Devki is an international speaker. She travels across the globe in many different countries and shares her wisdoms and insights. I've been fortunate enough to meet Sister Devki a few times in our headquarters in Mount Abu and also at Peace Village. And I've seen that the spirit that Sister Devki embodies is one of courage. That we were listening the morning message on courage. She really embodies that in the spirit of happiness and giving and, very, very warm and abundant energy all around her. And so we're really happy that she gave us this time today. And she's joining all the way from St. Maarten. And she will be sharing on the theme of who owns my mind. It's a very beautiful subject. So we'll listen to her. And we'll also have chance to ask questions towards the end of the session. And I'll just end with this note. Devki is a Hindi word. It is the mother of Krishna. It's Devki, right? And so it's like the mother of all the divine virtues and qualities. And Ramsahai means one who is helper or a companion. So one who is a companion of God all the time. So Sister Devki, very warm welcome to the family, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you very much, Brother Sarav, for that warm and welcoming introduction. And a very warm welcome and greetings of peace from this part of the world. It's a blessing to be in the Caribbean, and there are a number of reasons why. The souls in the Caribbean, we are surrounded by quite a bit of beautiful nature, sunlight right throughout the year, and lots of greenery, lots of water, mountain, etc. So we are very connected with nature here, as well as people in this part of the world are very family oriented. They have lots of love for God, whichever religion they belong to, they practice a lot in their religious, whatever organization they're involved in, they practice a lot of religious belief and practices. They're very family oriented, very value based. So really it's a blessing that even though the world is moving on and losing its value, we're blessed to be still connected with some of those values here, as well as a deep connection with God, deep connection with the family, and we are very much connected with nature. Just to give you a little idea of background of the Caribbean for those who have not yet visited. Today I'm taking up this very, very important topic: who owns my mind? I know we will say, obviously, we're the owner of our mind. But is that so? Are we 24/7 owner of our mind? When we allow people or an event or a situation to preoccupy our mind over a given period of time, could be an hour, it could be full 24 hours, it could be a number of days, and sometimes even longer than that, then our mind is held captive by that person or persons or that event situation. And when that happens, I could safely say I am a victim. But the true nature of the mind is freedom. We are born free. The mind is naturally and eternally free, but we choose to allow otherwise. So I remember talking to someone who came to visit the center. It was a couple. And the lady, she was telling me, I want to learn meditation. Why? Because I don't think my family love me. So I asked her, how did you come to this conclusion? And then she related a story, how her mother and her sisters, they had a confrontation with her. And in that confrontation, they said to her not so nice things. One will think it's okay to feel hurt at that time when the people very close to us, our immediate family, says not so nice things. And if we do that, we give ourselves permission to feel hurt. Because as she was relating the story, I asked her how long ago this incident happened, because the way she was describing it, it was as if it was recent. I came to learn that that incident happened 28 years ago. And imagine, she had kept that scene alive in her mind all these years. And she continued feeling the pain every time she remembers that scene. So then I asked her how long that conversation lasts between you and your family. She said roughly an hour. So can you picture the scene? 28 years ago, someone said something to you and they did it for a period of an hour, talking you down, telling you not so nice things. 28 years later, you are reliving it all the time. So they may have hurt you for 1 hour. How much years are you hurting yourself? How many people you have told that story to and disturbed their peace of mind too? And so when they remember you with pity. They remember you with feeling mercy for you. So you have engaged so many people's intellect in that sad story. And you keep the blame game going. And so if you cannot forget something after 28 years, you're still getting sorrow from it, you're still reliving it, are you still the owner of your mind? Or have you given that mind to your past, to those family members? So this is a very important question to ask oneself, because the mind is the gateway to your consciousness, your subconsciousness. So there are two aspects of the mind: the conscious mind, what you're aware of at any given moment, and your subconscious mind, that which record all your past experiences, whether that experience is based on some betrayal, bitterness, a trauma, all of that is stored in your subconscious mind. And your conscious mind is the gateway to all of that experience. So if you don't want to dive into that past that gives pain and sorrow and bitterness, then you have to ensure that there is a mechanism in place, some key, some special key, some safety mechanism, some safety lock, some safety code that you hold very closely and not letting anyone have access to it, only to protect your mind. Because your mind is that sacred space that whenever you want to experience peace, love, happiness, truth, when you want to connect with God, it is the mind that you need to use as your vehicle. When you want to go deep within the core of your own being and access all that richness, all the treasures of peace, of love, your mind is the faculty you have to use. So mind is that sacred space, and we have to ensure that you don't give anyone permission to enter that sacred space and disturb you. We all know all the other senses that we have. Amongst them all, the mind is the chief minister. I want to use a metaphor. The soul, the soul, is like the king, and I have ministers that I instruct, and they are the ones who ensure that my kingdom is running properly. Of all the ministers, the mind is the chief minister, because, just to give you an example, the moment you smell fresh baked bread, someone is baking in the neighborhood, and you're getting that scent, that smell, immediately your mind goes there. Mind start picturing fresh baked bread. If your mind is smelling, or rather, let's look at hearing. We use the example of fresh baked bread. You smell it, your mind go there. You hear beautiful music playing somewhere, your mind goes there. You hear someone having a conversation and they're talking ill about someone, your mind goes there. So wherever all your senses go, wherever they're engaged, mind is likely to follow. And that's why your mind is your chief minister, because when your mind follows what you hear, see, what you smell, then what happens? You hear somebody saying about another person, that person is dishonest. You don't know the individual, you haven't met or have any connection with that individual. You just hear that that person is dishonest. And if the mind is weak at that time, the mind will delve into what you just heard. It will think again and again what you just heard. And for a moment, you have no control over your thoughts, your feelings, and your emotion. Mind is carried away by what you just heard. And then if you keep remembering that what you heard throughout the day, before you know it, you have formed a perception about that person without meeting that person, without knowing their true facts. Just what you heard influence your mind, And if you keep repeating it in your mind, you will begin to form an opinion. You'll begin to have a perception that that person is really dishonest. If by chance you get an opportunity to meet that person later on, because you've already hold a perception of that person being dishonest, how would you look at that person when you meet that person? What will be your thoughts when you are in the presence of that person? How would you listen to what that person is saying? Would you trust that person? Would you believe what they're saying? Would you bring that person close to you? Or would you avoid that person? Would you reject that person? Would you embrace that person? What would be your attitude towards that person? And you don't know the facts. And that's why your conscious mind is the gateway to your subconscious mind. What's in your memory, what's recorded in your subconscious mind is determined by the filter you use. If my filter, my perception about life is one of bitterness, that's the filter I will use to perceive everything that is happening around me. I will be looking through the eyes of bitterness, and I will identify only with bitterness. Just like when you wear a green glass, everything appears green. When you wear a shade, everything is that same color. So, if you have the perception about life and about yourself that the glass is always half full as opposed to being half empty. So if you have the habit of looking at the positive side, then that's exactly the vision you will hold about everything, whether internally or externally. And if you have the habit of complaining and talking about the glass being half empty, it will influence your vision of your own self first, and then it will influence everything you see, hear. It will influence the way you perceive the world and others. But it begins with yourself. It is not rocket science to know today. I think all of you know today by now that no one, and absolutely no one, can insult you, disrespect you, emotionally hurt you, unless you give them permission. Because you are the creator of your own thoughts. And based on the thoughts you create, certain feelings and emotions are triggered. You hear someone says to you, like you wear a new outfit, and you're expecting someone to say, you look beautiful in your outfit. But instead, they are being honest and they say, I don't like that outfit. It doesn't go well with you, your body, or your other aspect, your complexion, color, and so on. It doesn't go well with your personality, this outfit. But you were expecting a compliment. Instead, you got an honest opinion, and it was nowhere near a compliment. Obviously, that's how you perceive that honest opinion. You saw it as if they are insulting you. They don't love you. They don't respect you. That's why they say those things. Why didn't they not stay quiet rather than saying to you, that outfit doesn't suit you? So you start feeling bad inside, feeling hurt inside, feeling disrespected, feeling rejected. The reality is quite the opposite. Someone who has a right to voice an honest opinion just did that. They just voiced it, their honest opinion, with no intention to hurt you. But because of your lack of self-respect, because of your sensitivity, because you're carrying an image about yourself better than what you are in reality, you think you're so beautiful. And because you think you're beautiful, you have this air about yourself, ego about yourself. And when someone says something that doesn't go with in the form of a compliment, your ego gets hurt, not your self-respect. Someone with self-respect will be untouched by compliment or criticism. But someone who is egoistic will get hurt by criticism and start feeling good by praise. So one who fluctuates based on criticism and praise, they're not stable. And all of that begins with thoughts. You think they hurt you. You think they insult you. You think they don't love you. And based on your thinking, feelings and emotions emerge. And all three of them, thoughts, feelings, and emotions, are your creation. And it is done with your own mind. So feeling happy or feeling unhappy, both are mindsets created by your own thoughts. It has absolutely nothing to do with the reality outside. The whole world can go in one direction, and you can allow it to go in the direction it is going, and you decide to hold on to your peace and your happiness. But if you give the permission for anything outside to enter the sacred space of your mind and disturb it, it is your responsibility. You choose to be a victim. I remember another scene. A young lady and her mother came to visit the center here in St. Maarten. And there were other people also. A full group wanted to learn meditation. So I invited everyone to introduce themselves and say why they want to learn meditation. And this young lady, she said, I want to learn meditation because I get very angry. So I asked, why do you get angry? And she related an incident. She said, I live in an apartment building and the neighbor next door, they have a dog, and that dog will come over on my porch in my garden and create havoc. And she said, I tried to speak to the owner. Nothing seems to work. What I noticed was that when she was relating that incident, she was getting angry, hyper. And so I said to her, you know, at the moment you sung like a victim. And she said, no, I'm not a victim. It's my neighbor and their dog. Again, I tried. I said, maybe you're sending negative vibrations to both of them and they're reacting. Again, she refused to accept her responsibility. Instead, she said, it's my neighbor and their dog. So I said, I'm going to make a last effort, one more suggestion, and then we close the topic. So I said to her, what if tomorrow morning when you wake up, only to discover that your neighbor and her dog had moved out from the next door apartment? Does that mean as of tomorrow, you will never get angry again? And she looked at me for a moment, taken aback, and then she said, of course I'll get angry. I said, why? Your neighbor and the dog is not there anymore. She said, it just struck me when you were speaking that the anger is inside me. So here is a question for all of you. Can you recognize what's your responsibility for how you're feeling? The thoughts, feelings, and emotion you experience any given moment? Do you take responsibility for it? Or do you feel that someone is to be blamed for the way you're feeling? Can you recognize triggers in your life? What act like triggers? The dog and the neighbor could be considered triggers in her life. They were triggering her anger, but they were definitely not responsible for her anger. And therefore, they will never be able to remove it. I like chocolate. I have developed a habit of eating chocolate. And so far, in my knowledge, there isn't a single instrument in the world, neither science nor technology, have been able to come up with an instrument that can go into my mind and delete my love for chocolate. My love for chocolate is recorded in my subconscious mind. And it is done because I have created the habit of eating chocolate. So there is no one in the world, absolutely no one in the world, who can change me, change my personality, change my habit, change my feelings and my emotions from sadness to happiness, or from happiness to sadness. It's only, absolutely only in my own hands. So my mind, therefore, is my best friend. How much time do I spend befriending my mind? Spending quality time to get to know that mind. When you love someone, you make a date to go somewhere with that one. Spend time to get to know that one. Offering that one compliments, gifts. Do I spend time with this, my chief minister, my mind? Do I spend time getting closer and closer to my mind, my best friend? Do I go for a walk on the beach only with my mind to understand, to love, to value, to respect my mind? And if I befriend my mind, it will not betray me. It will work for me on my behalf. It will be my support. It will protect me because it's the gateway to my subconsciousness. I just want to give an example for those who might be joining us, the Brahma Kumaris, for the first time. We understand that as a human being, I am a soul, the being inside this body. So the human aspect of me is the body. The being aspect is the soul. When that being, that soul is in the body functions. Moment the soul leaves the body, it ceases to function. So when I say I heard with my ears, I saw with my eyes, this I means I, the soul. Because when that soul departs, even though eyes are there, ears are there, none can experience, none can function. So I am a soul Unlike what is taught in the world, I have a soul and I am the body. In spirituality, it's the reverse. I don't have a soul, but I do have a body because I am a soul and I have a body. So when I am aware that I'm a soul, primary importance is given to the soul. When I'm aware I'm a body, I think I am the body, primary importance is given to the body. And you look in the world today, you see evidence of that 24/7. From the time we wake up, we think, let's take a shower, clean the body, dress the body, put clean, fresh clothes on, go in the kitchen, make coffee, give breakfast to the body, go to work so I can acquire money to provide comfort, facilities, food for the body. In all of those hours that go by every day, how much time is given to the awareness of the soul? There's a beautiful saying, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his own soul? We see in the world today, people are after body consciousness. I want to give one example how I, the soul, have a relationship with my body and the roles I play. If a doctor step out of his house to go to his clinic and puts on the robe of a doctor and he's admitting the first patient in the clinic. At that time, he's aware that he's a doctor and he is seeing through the eyes of the doctor. So he's looking at that patient as a patient and he's looking for symptoms of illness and disease. And he's aware of illnesses and disease. That knowledge and experience of medicine and illnesses is in his awareness. The same doctor closes his clinic and returns home. So during the time when he is seeing patient, he's wearing the hat of a doctor. When he gets home and he is talking to his wife, he switches off the hat of a doctor and he puts on another hat, that of a husband. And right away, all the thoughts of what it means to be a husband, the feelings, the appreciation, the concern, the love will emerge naturally in his awareness as soon as he puts on the cap. And then the child comes into the picture. He's now putting on a third cap, third hat, that of a father. And right away, his tone of voice, mannerism, attitude, vision, everything goes through a change based on the hat he's wearing. Do I ever wear the hat of a soul? And this is why the natural nature of the soul, natural qualities of the soul is peace, love, happiness, truth, purity, wisdom. All that I want in life is already there within the soul. The only reason why I'm unable to access everything is simply because I don't wear the hat of a soul. The moment I become aware of the soul in a very natural way, the qualities of the soul will emerge. And this is why, because we wear the hat of a woman or a man, gender awareness, we wear a hat of being black or white, we wear the hat of being a Guyanese or an American or a British. We wear the hat of being a teacher, a professor. We wear all those hats. But the one most important hat is the awareness of my true self. And this is why in today's world, one of the greatest crisis, not the COVID-19 crisis or economical crisis, the greatest crisis is that of an identity crisis. We don't know who we are. So we are victim to everything that is happening around us. Somebody says all women are like this, there goes my peace of mind and happiness. There's some experience of inequality, gender inequality, I get disturbed. Racial inequality, I get disturbed. All the upheaval that is there in the world, they are all connected with body consciousness. Because body was born, in my case, my body was born in Guyana. My body is Guyanese. If my body was born in China, obviously my parents would have to be from China, maybe or not. But if my parents are Chinese, then my body would look like a Chinese. And if I grew up in that home, obviously, because of that body and that place of birth, I will be learning Chinese. I will begin to love the culture and identify with the culture, Chinese culture. And if my Chinese biological parents are practicing Buddhism, I will adopt that religion of Buddhism. But as a soul, I was never born, I will never die, I have no beginning, I have no end, I have no gender, culture, color, nationality, age. None of that is related to me. Today, people kill in the name of their religion. I don't like you because you're Muslim. I don't like you because you're Hindu. I don't like you because you're Christian. I don't like you because, and it goes on, everything. All the wars and conflict is based on body consciousness. It's time that we recognize that we are spiritual beings, and as spiritual beings, we are all the same, made in the likeness and image of God. God is a soul, the supreme amongst all souls, and we are also souls. beings of light. God is ocean of love and peace and everything that is pure and positive. My natural, eternal, innate qualities are the same. So when we switch from body consciousness to soul consciousness, it is only then I will create the right quality of thoughts, and watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become your personality. And watch your personality, they're shaping your destiny. I want to stop now. I don't know if I've taken too much of your time. And if there is any question, I would be happy to.
Thank you so much, Sister Devki. Very beautiful, and the way you were explaining very slowly and with such a profound insight, such deep concepts. I really liked when she shared about wearing hat of the soul. How much time during the day do I wear a hat of the soul? And that naturally emerges the feelings of peace, happiness. And the main crisis is identity crisis, not the COVID-19 or any other crisis. Beautiful. And we would like to, Sister, would you like to conduct meditation now, or would you like to rather answer questions now and do meditation later on?
It's okay if they are comfortable. Anyone who have any questions?
Sure.
Um,
So we would like to open up, and if you would like to ask Sister Devki any questions, please feel free to either share or you can put in the chat box as well.
I don't have a
Okay.
question. I do have a comment. Thank you so much for starting with sharing the story of the 70-year-old person who came to learn how to meditate, and the story of this. You questioned her and she said the incident happened 28 years ago. The actual conversation or situation only occurred for 1 hour, and she had just inundated and absorbed and drowned her being into that for 28 years. And as you were telling the story, then it had me reflect on how many, not just one thing, but how many various things all through my life that I have just given away my ownership, my peace of mind and everything for different things. And in my mind at that time, I thought I was really getting them, but now I know I was only hurting myself. So thank you for that story, because it really helped me to focus on what I had been doing and to make sure that I wear my hat of soul consciousness even more consciously. Thank you. Om Shanti.
nice, very nice.
Thank you.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, no. Hello, Krishna Bhai. Hello.
Oh, really an extraordinary talk. It touches upon our several real life problems and how to overcome it, how to do self-introspection, self-talk and self-realization, and wear the hat of soul instead of the body, and rather live in the present rather than and forgetting the unpleasant past. These are the requirements. Thank you very much for a nice talk.
Sister Devki, we have a couple of questions here. So one is Om Shanti, Sister Devki, mind-blowing expose of the mind. Could you please requote what you said about the mind and profit? Thanks.
The mind and
Profit.
in the context of
Sister Jana, are you there? Would you like to ask that question yourself?
Om Shanti, sister. You started with a quote, well, at one point, what does it profit to a mind? I hadn't, I couldn't take my notes properly. What does it profit to a mind to give away its own, something like that, please? Thank you.
so there's a story. It says, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his own soul? It's a quotation from the Bible, words from the Bible. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Let me give you one example. There was a king, and one day a saint came to visit the kingdom. So the king was quite excited that today I have this special guest, the saint. So on arrival and welcome, the king invited the saint to take a tour of his kingdom. Said, "O saint, please take a tour and see all that I have acquired in my life." So obediently, the saint went on a tour and he returned. So the king was waiting in anticipation for what the saint will think of his achievement. So the king asked the saint, "So have you seen my kingdom? What do you think?" He said, "I have not seen anything." So the king was surprised, having toured all my achievement. The saint is saying that he hasn't seen anything. So the saint realized the king could not understand what he means. So he said to the king, saint said to the king, "O king, I want you to take a tour of your own kingdom. And when you return, I want you to describe what you see. But before you go, I want to give you this earthen lamp, this lit lamp. I want you to keep it in your hand and take a tour of your own kingdom. But ensure that this lamp, the light does not go out." So the king went on a tour of his own kingdom and he returned. So the saint asked him, "Can you describe what you've seen?" So the king said, "O saint, although I had seen everything, it was as if I didn't see anything. Because whilst I was looking at everything, all my awareness, my focus was not to let this light go out, not to let this light go out." So the saint said to the king, "See, I live in this world. I'm surrounded by the glitter, everything that is body conscious, everything that is materialistic, everything that is elusive, everything that is temporary. I am surrounded by it. But whilst I am with everything and in everything, I keep one focus in life, not to let the light of my soul ever to go out, to keep my soul constantly enlightened, ignited, conscious, awake, aware." So that's the story. Is the soul ignited? Am I enlightened? Am I conscious? Am I awake? Am I aware? Or I allow this material, temporary, elusive world to allow me to stay in darkness. What do I do with my time here on earth? Okay?
Many, many thanks, sister. Many, many thanks. In fact, you explained very clearly what Brother Vivan. Brother Vivan is one of the souls who comes sometime, and you completed the story. Many, many thanks, sister. Thank you very much. Om Shanti. Yeah.
Thank you. Very nice. So we have another question. So this is from Sister Kiran. She's asking, how do I make my mind a friend when I don't know it's my enemy? What kind of date do we have with the mind?
There's an old saying that the ones who are your enemy is in fact your best friend. And the ones who are your best friend, be aware, because your best friend may not want to tell you the truth about yourself. Afraid that they will lose your friendship. Afraid that they will offend you. But your enemy will not spare you. And they're the ones who are truly your friend, who can tell you where you're going wrong and what you need to do. So there's that saying, your worst friend, your worst enemy is your best friend, and your best friend can be your worst enemy. I can give you one very simple example. Sorry. Whenever I need to go somewhere or do something, and if I need to carry a few things with me when I leave the center, and for whatever reason, sometimes I'm, caught up with many activities, and I think there's a possibility it will slip my mind, the things I need to take. So what I will do, I will look at that item. Let's say I have to take my ID card or my purse with me. I will look at the item or bring that item in my mind and says to my mind, don't forget, I have to take this with me. I give my mind homework. And trust me, no matter how busy I am, when I step out the house, even if it means I'm just stepping down the staircase, first, second, third, or I'm just about to close the door, or I'm heading to the door, at some point, very, very early stage, my mind will remind me, you need to take your ID card. Seconds before I leave. So why I'm saying this, your mind, my mind, our mind work in our favor. But usually our old habit kicks in and does not allow our mind to work in harmony with us. For example, you know you ought to get up. Some of you get up 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock. You have your timing. And when that time comes for you to wake up, but you're feeling lazy, or you're feeling sleepy, or you're feeling tired, and you say to yourself, 5 more minutes. And you know the rest of the story, don't you? And after 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and your mind observe that you give in to laziness. You're not punctual. You're not accurate. Your mind said that you're not serious. So the mind will give up. But if your mind sees that you are accurate, the mind works for you. You know, this is what we need to understand. Mind does not work against you. That's what people say. But you yourself get influenced by your old habit. And when you're under an influence, you're not accurate, you're not in control. You're a victim of that habit. And mind love when you work in harmony. So mind will cooperate with you. But if you don't give your mind instruction, or you give your mind instruction, but you don't follow through with that instruction, then your mind can be your worst enemy at that time. Because mind is like, they say, there's an old saying, a proverb, an empty mind is a devil's workshop. So if you don't engage your mind constructively, then mind needs to chew on something. Mind needs to create thoughts. So if you don't give it direction, okay, think about peace, think about love. If you don't tell your mind what to think about in the morning, but mind needs to chew something. So mind will dig into your past and will take up something that you would rather not want to remember. So you can't stop the mind from thinking, but you can instruct the mind what to think. And when your mind works under you, you are the king and mind is your servant. But when you allow the mind to work on its own, the mind can make you the slave and the mind can be your king. That is why they say your mind can make you and your mind can break you. You decide.
Very nice. Thank you so much.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Thank you, sister. Beautiful.
Okay, enough?
Hey, sister, we have another question. It says, dear sister, I need help for my anger. I get angry if things are not happening my way. Sometimes I feel I'm very helpless. And it's probably for everyone that's true. So how to kind of conquer anger?
As I was saying earlier, there's a connection between our conscious mind and our subconscious mind. Anger is a defense mechanism. Anger, it's a habit, an acquired habit. So we have within us two sets of habits. One is related to the soul. And those habits are peace, love, purity, truth, wisdom, etc. This is the authentic, natural, innate, eternal, original quality of I, the soul. And since soul is eternal, those qualities are constantly with me. But of course, because we never wear the hat of the soul, sometimes we are 60 years old and we never wear the hat of a soul for 5 minutes in our life. Sometimes it is like that. So those are natural, innate qualities, and they are acquired habits. An acquired habit are habits that are related to the roles I play. So I develop anger, I develop ego, I develop selfishness, I develop an attitude, a negative attitude. And anything I develop, I acquired, it's something that I have brought in within my personality, but it's not my original personality. So anything I acquired, I can give up, I can drop. But I can never, absolutely never drop peace and happiness. It goes with me. It came with me, it will go with me. But anger, I have acquired and I can drop that. So first of all, I have to recognize that one is permanent, eternal, and one is acquired, temporary. So once you know that anger is not your real nature, like peace is your natural nature. And how can I say to you, peace is your natural nature and anger is not? I'll give you one simple example. How do you feel when you're angry? Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel relaxed? Do you feel happy? Do you feel at peace? Can you live in anger forever? And the answer obviously is no. I don't feel relaxed, I don't feel comfortable, I don't feel at peace, and I can't live in anger forever. How do you feel when you're peaceful? Relaxed, sincere, serene, tranquil, at ease, empower, energized, positive. That's how you feel when you're peaceful. Can you stay in peace forever? And the answer obviously is yes. So which one is your natural nature, anger or peace? Anger or peace? Which is your natural nature? So you have to know that. You have to know that ahead, that anger is not natural. When you're angry, you don't want the world to know you're angry. You lock yourself away. You don't even want to see anybody. You don't want to meet anybody. When you're peace, when you're happy, what you do? You want to celebrate. You want to run out there and tell the whole world you're on cloud 9 when you're happy. So which one is natural? Which one is unnatural? So first you have to come to that understanding. One is not real and one is real. One is acquired and one is eternal. And if you understand that anger is acquired, you know you can get rid of anger. That's for sure. Second thing, to practically make it happen, it's always necessary to start your morning. If I want to work on my anger in the morning, as soon as my eyes open, the first half an hour, 15 minutes, 10 minutes of my wakeful moments, I can create an affirmation that I am a peaceful being. Peace is my birthright. Peace is my natural nature. Create one powerful affirmation that is exactly the opposite of the affirmation of anger. To say I'm angry or I get angry, instead say I am a peaceful being. Peace is natural nature. It's my birthright. So create an affirmation for yourself, for your well-being. Create a powerful affirmation for your job, Create a third affirmation for your relationship, your loved ones. Create a fourth affirmation for your country. Create fifth for the elements, nature that is serving us so selflessly. So create 4 or 5 affirmation in the morning and repeat it every day in the morning, slowly, not repeated, just get it over and done with. Repeat it with that feeling and conviction that I am. So always start an affirmation, I am a peaceful being. I am. During the course of the day, you have cell phone, you have many apps, you have an alarm on your cell phone, you have reminder on your cell phone. Put a reminder on your cell phone. Every 2 hours, 3 hours, it should pop up. A message on your phone should pop up. What am I? I am a peaceful being. In the evening, again, check and acknowledge. Did I remember only 2 times? Did I remember 5 times? Should I remember 10 times? You know, my sister inspired me. She walks and writes, and she was saying this and that. She was post snapshots of how many miles she rides or walks. And one day I messaged her back. I said, I wish I could walk 200 steps before I go to sleep. I just messaged her like that. And then the next day I thought, wow, I should try. And I'm talking about this happened during lockdown, where we were not allowed to go out, literally. The first phase of lockdown, it's maybe March, April. Do you know, from that day to today, and in fact, last night I have on my phone, I walked in this week, and not the full week, though I walk every day typically, I missed 1 day this week. In 6 days, last night at 10 o'clock, I sent her a snapshot. I walked 100,000 steps yesterday. 100,000 steps yesterday. See my screen? 100,000 steps yesterday. In lockdown, and if you see the chart, I missed the first day. And so therefore in 6 days, I walk 100,000 steps. And every day, and the week before I walked 78,000, 75,000. Why I show you what is not possible. And do you know how I walk? I walk from my bedroom to the end of my kitchen, back and forth. I have a big hall, but I don't use the hall because it's not, that level is soft, but I walk on the tile between my bedroom and kitchen, and I accomplish 100,000 steps less than 1 year. What is not possible? They say if you want to create a new habit, do it consistently without failing for 21 days. If you break it, start all over again. You have to be determined. And anger is temporary. Remember that. Okay? Is that all right for now?
Thank you. Thank you so much, sister. Beautiful.
Om Shanti. So Very nice presentation. Thank you, Sister Devki. Quick question. How can we put on multiple hats at the same time, in the sense that when we are, say, playing a role of, say, husband, father, and at the same time, how we can inculcate the innate qualities? What prevents, in our minds to prevent us from bringing up those qualities? So is it just the practice, that the habits that you just mentioned, or is there, how to train our minds so that we can play those roles as well as, inculcate the innate qualities of the soul?
So first thing first, what is my priority? No, we have to get our priority right. There's an old saying, early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Early in the morning is the ideal time to meditate. Earliest, best. I don't want to scare some of you by telling you what time I wake up and meditate, and I know some of you do already. But the first half an hour when you wake up, you're having a clean canvas for the day. And you're giving 84, I don't know what, 84,000, whatever. That much seconds, minutes, hours in every day. And everyone get the same time. How do I prioritize what importance I give to what? So first thing first, whatever your mind feeds on in the early morning, you know very well when you have a healthy breakfast and you put on a fresh, clean set of clothing and you had a fresh bath, it boosts your feeling of preparedness and you feel you are ready for the day. Of all the organs that you have, your mind must be the one that is most fresh, and that one must be fed the healthiest of the healthy food. So if you can spare 10 minutes, 15 minutes, sit in silence and solitude. Don't wake up at 5:30 and know you have to be in the kitchen at 5:30 and then start thinking, I have to go, I have to go, I have to go, I have to cook, it's getting late. That mentality cannot help you to develop the right mindset. You have to get up slowly, not in a rush. You don't have to put on this speedometer of the day at the start of the day. Go gently and slowly. And sit, and like I said, if you already save on your phone 5 affirmations and you read it slowly, think about it, reflect it, and with determination says that I want to practice this today. Just 5-10 minutes. And go slowly into your day. Don't wake up with a bang. Don't go into your day with a bang. Don't close your night with a bang. Give respect to your mind. Relax. Be relaxed in the morning. Be relaxed in the evening. So that you go to sleep peacefully and you wake up the way you go to sleep. So if you can take 10 minutes, only you can do that. There's so many beautiful affirmations online you can access, but create affirmation that works in your favor. Create affirmation that is related to your situation. You have to do your homework. You have to do things that works for you. And you know what? A 1,000-mile journey begins with the first step. The whole universe, I want to repeat, the whole universe is waiting to serve you and you alone. Not me, not somebody else. I have to say to myself, this whole universe exists only to serve me and me. But only on one single condition. I have to command the universe and it will serve me. If I am at the mercy of the universe, if I'm at the victim of the universe, it will work against me. So I have to instruct the universe that I command you. You have to put on your very strong, powerful form and says, I command, and the universe will serve you. But to say, if it's the will of God, forget it. To say, I will try, forget it. To say, let's see what tomorrow brings, forget it. To think, I hope to do it, forget it. You have to command and it will work in your favor. I know it. I've been there. I am still there. And so I'm telling you based on my experience, command the universe, it works for you. Be a victim of the universe, it will work against you. Okay?
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sister. Om Shanti.
Thank you.
Om
Beautiful
Shanti.
session.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sister. Very beautiful. And I was just thinking some of the things that you mentioned about the mind also, how we have to like the traffic control that we are doing, and it's so connected to the neural pathway in the brain. Like science also proves it that our mental grouping changes when we are constantly putting the emotion. So it's not just about saying it, but feeling it and the emotion behind it. So very beautiful, and so much of that is now connected to research that the Western scientists are doing on the neuroscience side of it. So thanks, very, very informative session. Om Shanti.
So we ending with a
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, sister. Yeah, if you could.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, sister. Yeah. I learned a lot. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Thank you. So I am the one, I get upset very soon, So
You know,
it's hard.
I've been there. I've been
Yeah.
there. We have all been there. You're not alone.
Yeah.
So don't feel alone. We all, but to accept the reality, yes.
Yeah, there are so many things we can do by ourselves,
Yeah. And
But-
God help those who help
themselves. Yeah.
Knock and it shall be open. Seek and you shall find. Ask and it shall be given.
Yeah.
God help those who help us. Take one step and God will take 1,000 steps.
That's what I see. You were showing the steps. That's what I did whole year inside the house. I did, then I start counting 100, 100, 100, 100, then go back 1, 200, 1, 200, 1, 200, like that.
That's how
what
I
did.
started. I took a piece
Yeah.
of cardboard. I did not even know I had a app on my phone. I took an old piece of cardboard and I took a pen and I put it in the center and I walk, and every time I come to 100, I make a stroke. That's how I started 10 months ago. Less than 10 months ago.
Yeah, that's good. Walking
Today's
is good.
Murli was all about that.
Yeah.
Take a first step, And
Yeah.
God will help you with the
When I had a
mighty
personal meeting, when I did had a personal meeting, the words was, "It is good you have kept courage. Keep courage in front and continue to move forward." That was my one-to-one blessings.
Yeah. Thank you. I really feel like so good. Otherwise, I was, when I was listening to you, so I was crying, means nobody around me. So I feel so good to see you. I feel like you are kind of belongs to me, from my
We all
inside.
belong to each other,
Yeah.
actually.
Yes,
Yes.
that's what.
Yes.
Thanks, Saurabh Bhaiji. So it's so good.
Hey, thanks.
Brahma is
Thanks, sister.
accurate.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Brahma.
thank you.
Thank you, sister.
Okay, we passed our 12 o'clock.
Yeah. No problem, sister. If you could lead us into, if you have some time to.
Yes, I'm okay with time. It's just that I'm concerned
Sure.
we don't. All right, I will do a few minutes of meditation.
Sure.
Yes?
Yeah.
Sitting quietly, I become aware of this being of peace in the center of my forehead. I am a divine being, a child of God. And peace is my natural nature. I am peace. Peace is the language of the soul. And I belong to one who is the ocean of peace. So peace is my birthright. As I reflect on I, the soul, I realize that positivity is my true power, whilst negativity trains me. So I want to remember that my nature is positive. My nature is peace, love, truth, happiness, wisdom, and more importantly, power. I am a powerful being. I was powerful, I am powerful, and I will always remain powerful. Let me keep this awareness within me. Whilst my hands are busy, let my mind engage in thinking. I am powerful. I am peaceful. and I belong to the Almighty Authority. And my mind is my best friend. I want to sit in silence, only so I can begin to observe my mind and see what is disturbing it and what makes it peaceful. And as I begin to observe, then I can steer. I can go in the direction I need to go. I can create the thoughts I need to create. So I'm going to make it a part of my daily routine to sit in silence and be an observer and get to know my mind and talk to my mind and give it homework, give it a lot of love, be gentle with it, be kind to it, compliment it, and so that my mind works for me. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sister Devki, from the bottom of our hearts. And this is St Maarten, and one of the specialities is that it's famous for its slow landing, and we can all travel to St Maarten to see Sister Devki physically there. And thank you from the entire family to Sister Devki. This is St Maarten, is it right, Sister?
Yes, 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 absolutely. I'm happy that you're featuring us. It's a beautiful little island. Yes, it's a beautiful place. So, you know, I'm inviting you with your mind, you can travel to St. Maarten and feel refreshed and enjoy the turquoise water. If you showed the slide before, you can see the turquoise water, the blue sand, and we are surrounded by mountain plus sunshine almost round the clock. So thank you, everyone. I really enjoyed spending this quality time with all of you.
Not just with
Beautiful.
we might come personally, sister. Right, Saba?
Yes, yes. Yes, and Sister, once the lockdown is over, please do visit us here in Indianapolis.
Yes,
It'll be
sure,
great to see.
sure. I want to acknowledge we have Fabio. Fabio, you have to unmute your mic. Yes, she is a contact of ours. I have met her a while ago in St. Croix, but she's taking care of her in-laws who are very elderly, very aged in the couple. And because of that, she cannot join any evening. They're having dinner at the time.
Yes.
And so I just remember to send her half an hour before we start to see that if it's daytime, maybe she's
Yes, and thank you. So good to see you again. Today was a delight. It just, resurrected everything. And thank you for always 365 days giving me inspiration.
Class is joining करती पर ये time is good.
You're welcome. Thank you, Fabio.
Blessing.
And we have some souls visiting, some from St. Maarten. We had two people from Canada, New York. I just invited a couple of persons. Some from one person from Guyana also was online. One from Curacao, one from Canada, two from New York. And yes, I just quick send half an hour ago to
Thank
see
you.
during the day if they can
Yeah.
join us, and they join.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Thank you, all the angels. Thank you, Sister Devki.
Okay.
Did so
Om
much.
Shanti.
Om
Thank you.
Shanti.
Om
Thank you so
Shanti.
much, sister. Thank
Shanti.
you. Om Shanti.
Thank
Om
you so much.
Shanti.
Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om
Thank
Shanti.
Om
you.
Shanti.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Shanti.
Take care. Have a
Thank you,
blessed
sister.
day.
Om
You
Shanti.
too. You too.
Om Shanti.
Thank you very much. Om Shanti.
Yes, Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Take